荣获50项国际电影节荣誉和奥斯卡提名的纪录片《国有器官》，近日在澳大利亚悉尼再度放映。来自加拿大的国际人权律师大卫·麦塔斯到场和观众互动。现场观众感谢导演张永进为澳洲观众展现了重要的真相，也希望更多人能够了解并讨论中共活摘器官的罪行。
Raymond Zhang should be really credited with this very informative documentary he's put together for many Australians and people overseas. It's a real education and eye-opener. I think, as I could hear in the audience, people were very upset and distressed, particularly by the personal accounts, the whistleblowers.
Very sad to see that it's still ongoing and still happening, not only in China and the whole world. And I hope that more and more people talk about it.
彭里斯市市议员博斯特是当地一个电影节的创办人，他计划将在明年的电影节活动中放映国有器官。
These are crimes against humanity, and the information in it is extremely important. It is a gut-wrenching situation. I'm looking at screening the film as part of my festival, the Starburst Film Festival in Penrith.
常年调查中共活摘器官的麦塔斯表示，中共一直在极力掩盖和否认活摘器官的事实，是因为中共明白活摘器官的滔天罪行足以让中共解体。
My own view is the mass killing of prisoners of conscience for their organs is like a thread which you can pull on and unravel the whole carpet. They've never acknowledged sourcing organs from prisoners of conscience who are totally innocent. For them to acknowledge it there's no justification for it. It would be tantamount to saying, well, Communist Party is disastrous, Communist Party is wrong, Communist Party shouldn't be there. If more people in China were aware, if everybody in China was aware, the CCP would cease to exist. Absolutely. I certainly believe, there's more than one way the rule of the Communist Party can end, but this is certainly one way it can end.
律师塔兰特认为，得益于法轮功学员长年以来的不懈努力，澳洲民众对中共活摘器官的认知度已经明显提升。
I think people are becoming more and more aware, particularly with all the tireless efforts of Falun Gong. I think the Australian public would want to see some legislation passed to prevent this happening.
麦塔斯则表示，各国针对器官移植的一般立法，中共往往会假装事不关己，而美国的法轮功保护法案直接点明了中共对法轮功的迫害，令中共无法逃避。
When it comes to generic legislation, the Chinese government tends just to ignore it, pretends it doesn't apply to them. But when it comes to something that specifically mentions Falun Gong, they can't help but notice. So they would definitely consider that to be adverse. If more countries enacted legislation like the Falun Gong Protection Act, it could, as I say, have an impact on the assessment that China and the party makes about the value of persecuting Falun Gong.
新唐人电视台澳大利亚悉尼记者站采访报道。